Good evening or afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Anything But Hold'em. We're here this afternoon streaming the weekly round 2. Today it's a fixed limit Badugi. Um, this is the tournament that you win a ticket to when you win one of the astronomer free rolls. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. $2,000 prize pool ticket only. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, I'm not on camera. I should turn my camera on. Hello, good to see you. I think I'm going to check here. It's a really good 3 card, but no reason to think anybody else. Yeah, obviously Matsy hit his 5 card there, so. Um, Alrighty, so we got a natural king high over here, which is pretty bad, but it is a natural, so it wins against any 3 card hand. Just as a reminder for people who have not played Badugi before, the point of Badugi is that you're looking for 4 cards whose suit don't match and 4 cards whose rank don't match. The and is important. If you have any matching ranks or any matching suits, you will not have a 4-card Badugi hand. So the best hand you could get is Ace, Deuce, 3, 4, Rainbow. All of those cards with different suits. Yeah, that's your best. That's what you're shooting for. So what I've got here is a rainbow hand. Very good with that. I'm not matching any suits and I'm not matching any ranks. But being that this is a low game, I've got king high, which is the worst 4-card Badugi you can have. And more than that, it goes to the second highest card next when you're working out your ranks. And a king 10 is one of the worst kings that you could possibly have. So at the end of the day, we're not terribly confident with this, but it's not really something that I'm ever going to be able to profitably draw to usually. Because I'm almost certainly going to draw out of a natural Badugi and into a 3-card of some kind or another by matching a rank or matching a suit. Throwing the King of Spades and expecting a lower spade back is going to be a pretty much of a fool's errand most of the time, I think. That said, I am by no means a Badugi expert, so this is a game I enjoy a lot, but it's not necessarily one that I think I'm very good at. I think I'm okay at it, but I don't think I'm super, super, super good at it in any way. And I think now that we've completed our draws, I'm not going to bother. Basically, we've either got the best hand or we don't at this point. I don't think I'm going to fold out. I'm not going to fold out any 4-card. I suppose I might have folded out a queen or a jack if somebody had drawn into a queen or a jack. I might fold them out by padding 3 times, but yeah, I still think that's going to be. I'm going to get called by a lot of stronger Badugis if somebody has drawn into a Badugi. So. This is just too much. I mean, obviously we've got 2 diamonds, we got two queens. It's just there's going to be too much of a draw. I could draw I could throw the queen of diamonds, draw 1 into a jack or a 10 jack queen 3-card, but that's a pretty weak 3-card, so it's not really worth putting money in with. Late registration on this weekly round 2 is 10 minutes, so we still got a little bit of time for late reg left. Once that's done, I'll bring up the lobby and we'll have a look at what's happening. Also playing a Premier League game, PSO Premier League game off screen as well, just so you know what else is happening. I've quit smoking recently. I've been using these sort of e-cigarette things for a while, so you might actually see me doing a bit of that on stream, but hope that doesn't disturb anybody. But yeah, it's just like a fake electronic cigarette thing. Thingamabobby. One of the problems with Badugi is that it can be mind-numbingly boring when you're not in hands because with 3 draws and a lot of times people tanking on draws, it really, really, really does. Can go slowly when you're not actually playing the hands, but that's life. I mean, it's the way it goes. Different poker games have different sorts of rhythms, and Badugi is one of those ones where you know, if I was ever playing it live, I would absolutely bring a book along with me because there's going to be huge live. There'd be huge stretches of time where you were just sitting around doing absolutely nothing except um, trying to focus on very boring table action. The 5-3 would be a playable 2 card potentially, but I think I'm just going to get out of the way here. Play a little conservatively here at the beginning. Basically, go tight as right, I think, for the start and try to build up a stack. Hey Daz, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. If you weren't here for my discussion, e-cigarette that I've quit smoking recently, so I'm trying to maintain that. So you'll probably see this on stream a little bit. I was trying to keep it off stream only in the breaks, but that's seems like a silly thing to do. May as well just be comfortable. So this is a free roll. This is a free roll tournament. Let's bring up the lobby. The registration is closed now, so let's bring up the lobby here. Have a quick look. So this is our current situation. 6,385 people entered the tournament. It's always pretty much the same cash structure. 732 people cash. 215 up top for first. I have got a 10, 10, 8, 9 with 3 suits. 8, 9, 10 are 3 suits, but I'm going to get rid of that because it's just pretty weak. So just so you know, I wasn't folding a hugely good hand. So yeah, min cash as always is going to be $1.10, and there's a big, huge whopping min cash segment from 241st place to 732nd place. So it's about a 10% cash out today, a little bit more than 10%. It's pretty much always 732, no matter how many people reg the tournament, it seems like. So, um, so yeah, that's our situation. I'm going to take the lobby off the screen now so you guys can see the table. And there we go. There's another 2 card. Ace 8 is not really going to be a very strong hand most of the time. I'd probably want Ace 5, Ace 4, Ace 3 are 2 card hands that I might do a draw 2 with and see what happens. So far today, this has been like Limp City on this table. Not a lot of raise action happening, so getting in and seeing some at least single draws is probably worth my time as we go on. Like I say, I'm sort of sitting back to start with, playing pretty tight, and just kind of watching the action to see how it goes. And now the fact that I'm seeing a lot of limping here means that I probably need to get involved more here early on. Yeah, no worries, Daz. You go ahead and concentrate on your 12 tabling. I wouldn't want you to be losing money on 12 tabling on account of listening to me play Badugi. That seems like a minus EV spot for you, buddy. This is a hand I'll draw 1 to, see what we get. Draw the 6, obviously. We're looking for a diamond. A lower heart wouldn't be a horrible thing to draw to either. Obviously, we're going to do the 4 clubs because we've got a club already with our 3 and it's lower, so we're going to keep it. We're going to throw the 4 clubs. Again, looking for a diamond and or a lower heart. I think we're going to see another draw for sure. So Miante's padded there, and he padded the first round too. I should have been paying more attention to that. But so slightly smaller heart. Usually pat from the start hands are going to be pretty weak Badugis, which means if I actually hit a diamond lower than a 8 at this point, I think that I'm going to be winning the pot most of the time. So we are going to, see, it didn't work out the way that I was wanting it to. If I'd hit a diamond there, I think I'm taking the pot most of the time. But here we're just folding because the 3 card is basically never going to be ahead of S Miante's padding range, because S Miante's padding range is always going to be a 4 card when you pat from the start. So you can, the strength of the 4 card can be pretty weak, but it's always a 4 card when you pat from the start. There's really no reason to pat a 3 card in Badugi. Well, I shouldn't say that as a 100% rule, but like as a 99% rule. The only time that you'd pat something that wasn't a 4 card is if you were intentionally trying to bluff, trying to snow. That's really the only time that you do that. So this is a situation where I'm actually going to throw away a 3 card hand because the queen, I really don't want to play the queen regardless. So I'm going to toss it and hope for a lower club and a lower heart to come back on my 2 cards. Neither of that happens, but we do get a lower spade. So we're going to draw 2 again, but we're drawing to an ace 3 2 card, which is a pretty darn good 2 card. Probably not worth putting money in. Since I drew 2, it's probably not worth me betting. I'm not going to get a lot of folds with a draw 2 like that. Now, these are the ones that really bite, because I now have to figure out if I want to throw away my ace of diamonds or my ace of clubs, because I can't play this. This is a very strong 3 card. But I can't play both of these aces. I got to throw one of the aces away, even though, of course, they're not. But I'm going to throw a bet in here because I think if I can get people to fold off, this is actually the best situation, was not actually having to make that decision. But sadly, now I do. So discard one, and it's really, of course, it's a 50-50 toss-up, right? I mean, there's no way to predict whether you're going to get diamonds or clubs back. We haven't seen a lot of either of them in this deal, so I mean, I think that we're just going to go with the diamond and see what happens. Should have gone with the club. Oh well. What are you going to do? I'm going to think that my 3 card is going to be pretty strong regardless, so I think that if one of these guys didn't hit a 4 card, I'm going to win most of the time. Yep, there we go. So I'm pretty happy with the spot I was in there. This is a natural 4 card that's very strong, so we're going to be playing this one pretty aggressively, raising on pretty much every street, I think, at least to begin with. We're certainly raising. We're certainly raising here with 3 draws remaining. And we're patting. Wero pats as well. Cool. So we're going to throw a bet in. We're going to pat. We're going to throw a bet in. And we're going to pat. And we're going to throw a bet in. And we're going to take the pot. Binkage! Do you want to have a look at what he was playing there? Oh, wow. He had an 87 natural to my 84 natural. That's pretty harsh because, yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm pretty much playing that exactly the same way he played it. So that's pretty harsh on his part, but what are you going to do? So I think in that situation, I don't know. I mean, I think Wero, to a certain extent, overvalued his 87 there. An 87, when you get dealt naturally, it's always going to look really strong, and it's going to feel like you want it to be really strong. Um, but over 3 draws, it's not actually going to be that strong. But I guess, no, I'm thinking about it, he just was basically calling my bets. Yeah, I mean, I think there's no way I'm folding that. So yeah, it's really, there's no, it wasn't like he went crazy and raised me. Uh, so this is a spot I think I'm going to put a raise in. And basically I'm playing a deuce 3-2 card. So discard 2. I get the 5 back. So pretty happy with my 3 now at this point. We're going to call through, and we're definitely going to look for a heart on our draw. So the 95 is one of those hands that I can't fold, but I don't want to be particularly aggressive on either. So, and when I pat but behind, the way that Matsy responds to that is a pretty important tell. Now, when he checks, well, I suppose it's not that important of a tell because there's two reasons for that. He's either super strong and wants me to bet into him so he can raise me. I don't think the 95 is strong enough for me to do that, so I'm just checking back here most of the time for showdown value, and we're gonna take it down. Um, so the 95 there, it's a pretty thin value bet. I mean, I think you can value bet a 95 in a spot like that, but it's pretty thin. I don't know that you're getting called by much weaker, and I don't know that you're getting folds from much stronger. So, I don't really think it's that. This one with the king up top, I mean, I could play the 65 and throw away my king 8, but it's a pretty marginal spot. I do like these weekly round 2 tournaments. For the record, this is probably the only free roll that you will see me stream um, on the stream now. I think it's a fairly high-end free roll for the most part, even though the tournaments that you have to win to get into this one are a bit of a dog fest. At the same time, this is one of those tournaments where the people generally are pretty good at the game that we're playing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to put this one on stream, and it's a reasonably good. I mean, it's a $230 to $215 prize pool, so for first place. So it's not that bad of a it's not that bad of a it's not that low end of a tournament either. So all right, that was a pretty crappy double draw for us. So I think we're gonna check around. Do I want to call here? What did Matsy? Matsy drew one card. I think our 2 card is still probably strong enough to keep seeing if we can get. We're probably not going to do anything if we don't improve here. We improved at the 8 of clubs, so we're 84 on a 3 card now. It's probably worth seeing a third draw, especially when we get it for free, of course. So an 8-3 deuce is what we're playing right now for a 3 card. Everybody else was still drawing, so I'm actually pretty happy to put a bet in that's valuing my 3 card. Not quite, I wasn't quite the best 3 card, but I think I'm gonna be, good there. If Matsy doesn't hit his Badugi, I don't think that I get called there very often. I think if he's only got a 3 card, I don't think he calls me with a 3 card there. I think he assumes that I've hit my Badugi. Of course, now that the table has seen me do that, that's not necessarily going to be the case from now on if they're paying attention. But this is a pretty crappy natural Badugi, King, Queen, 5, Deuce. 5 and the Deuce are nice, of course, but the King and the Queen make it pretty crappy. I think we're gonna just see what happens at Showdown. I'm gonna throw a bet in here at this point because we've got 2 Pat 2. So when I'm patting, I'm definitely putting more pressure on Mianti there. I mean, it's entirely possible that he banked 2 cards and is now gonna pat, which is the case, which probably means we have to fold to his bets because there's no way our King Queen is ever stronger than what he has. So I think I'm out of the way on this one. 1,500 starting stacks, so we're still doing okay over here on the Badugi table, even having lost that last one. Alrighty, this is potentially a playable Badugi hand, but at the end of the day, I'm drawing into a two-card 9 high, which is probably never going to pay off well for us. So I'm just going to get rid of it pre-flop or pre-draw, and away we go. I haven't played with any of the people on this table before, as far as I'm aware. Um, they all look like new players to me. That's often the case in these weekly round twos. Again, the way it works is that every week on Sunday, there's the weekly round two is a different format of poker. Um, they do run around to No Limit Hold'em every once in a while, but it's mostly all of the different various weird forms, kind of like I play on anything but Hold'em here. So every week it's a different kind of game. This week was Limit Badugi. Last week I believe was PLO. There's Razes, there's Stud High Lows, there's Omaha High Lows. I mean, there's basically every version of poker that they play in the Astronomer Free Roll comes up here sometime on a Sunday afternoon. And I think there are a lot of specialists that sit around and wait for certain games to come up and use their tickets in those games. But it's still a pretty fun place to go, and I think there's a fair amount of value in there if you like playing the mixed games. And it's a really, in my mind, I think it's probably the best way to get into mixed games without dropping a bunch of money from your bankroll. Look at the sit and goes or the MTTs. You're basically looking at $1.10 as your minimum buy-in for any of the non-hold'em kind of games. So unless it's satellites that you're looking at, but for a basic game, you're looking at $1.10. So it's a little daunting for people who've never played a Badugi before to pay $1.10 to jump into a Badugi, or a $2.20 to jump into a Badugi. Or it can be a bit daunting, I think. So doing the astronomers is, I think, a great way to get introduced and get familiar with some of the different game formats for free. And then eventually get into one of these Sunday tournaments with your tickets to actually play for money for free in these fun mixed games. Because yeah, I mean, up top here today we've got $215 up top, and $1.10 for our min cash, which is a very large, almost 500 place window from 732nd to down to 240 at first. I'll get $1.10 min cash. Nice to see some folks here watching. Say hello in chat. Let me know what's going on. We are on a 3-minute delay here, so it does take me a minute or two to respond to you guys once you say something in chat. But I am paying attention and watching the chat, so if you want to ask a question or say hello or just let me know you're out there, just, say so in chat. Still early days in here, of course. We still got 4,000, almost 5,000 people left in the tournament. Only 732 places pay, so it's gonna be. It's usually a couple of hours, it's usually like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock before we start getting into serious money in this tournament. So this is a hand that I'm actually going to play relatively aggressively. It's not the strongest Badugi in the world. But the fact that I've been folding so much and I'm now raising, and I'm going to raise Pat here, I think that when people draw, I'm actually going to get a fair amount of, I think I'm going to take this pot down here fairly often. Maybe not, but we're going to pat again. We're going to see if they want to keep drawing. Esmiante's decided that he's in. I may well be behind him with my Jack-10 because he's going to pat right now. Yep, he's going to pat, and I'm going to pat. But I'm calling here almost certainly. So, and in fact, with action like this, I'm getting rid of the Jack-10. Wow, strong hand. Very strong hand. I'm pretty happy with the 8-4 ace, 3 card to start with. I don't know if like it went super insane and capped the betting out if I would continue in the hand or not, but I'm pretty much continuing for any other amount of action. Looks like Miante's on another pat mission. Thought so. Excuse me for sneezing in your face there. At least I turned my mic off so I didn't sneeze in your ear. Trust me, if you guys hear those over the mic, I would be blowing your eardrums out when I do those. Alrighty, things going a little poorly for us here, but that's cool. Got lots of time left. For the record, I actually played a. It's funny, I was joking around with some friends that I was playing a $2.20 fixed limit Badugi tournament this morning in order to warm up for the free roll that I was playing at noon. Seems kind of backwards, but yeah, that's so I played that and I cashed, min cashed in that for something like 368, I think it was. I'm going to get involved with this one. 874 is going to be pretty strong most of the time. Kind of hate the fact that we got the diamond back there, but I mean the 7 of diamonds specifically. And I think we're going to do the same 7 again. So we improve our heart situation. I'm going to check here, take the free draw. Alrighty, so I'm just basically at a 75. Oh, that's a pretty ugly looking hand for Badugi. We'll just get rid of that pre. Oh, it's been pretty slow over here on the Badugi table. It's one of the problems with Badugi is that when you're not actually playing in a hand, it can be pretty slow. Um, yeah, this is a pretty crappy Badugi hand as well. I think I get out of the way here too. Yeah, just getting out of the way here, I think. I'd obviously take the free draw if I got it, but it's even drawing to that's going to be pretty crappy. Yeah, Badugi's a really streaky game like this too. It's pretty easy to lose a couple of hands and just go down with it. And it's like all the sort of Well, it's sort of like the stud variation games in the sense that you can be putting money in on what's a very good draw, and it makes perfect sense to be putting money in, and it just come, doesn't work out for you. Um, so yeah, it's a very can be very frustrating in those sorts of situations. Um, if that had folded to me, I was almost certainly putting a raise in, but I'm going to get out of the way here and let these two fight it out. Alrighty, I think I'm going to get involved here with the Ace 5, a 2 card on the button. We're going to throw our Deuce of Clubs and our Jack of Hearts out. Definitely throwing in a raise here, give myself every chance to take it down pre-draw. Johnny is disconnected. Badugi can go slow enough when people don't disconnect and tank, but yeah, it's pretty bad when that happens. Alrighty, so we're 75 ace, and I'm pretty happy with that. Gonna put another bet in. I think he thinks we're pretty weak. I think so, which I was probably dumb calling down there, but I knew I was drawing to a better hand than he was sitting on. So it's just one of those situations where it's going to go badly for you. So this may be the end of our Badugi day. Well, or at least this a part of it. I think I might come back later with another stream if I do bust out here. But if this is it, this is it. You know, it's the way it goes sometimes. So that's a king 10. Clearly not the best spot, but I don't think I'm going to be making any money by. Well, actually, that's not the case anymore. Now that Wero has padded, I'm definitely not going to be standing on a king high. Well, that's moderately better. Well, it seems unlikely that Wero is playing worse than a queen 10, but it also seems unlikely that I'm going to draw better than a queen 10. So I don't know what the best thing to do here, but I think I'm just going to pat. Yeah, that was pretty much the way it was always going to go, and it didn't really matter what I chose to do there. I was going to go out. So that's disappointing, but it's the way that the Badugi cookie crumbles sometimes. So I do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me for the afternoon. Check your Twitter information. I think I might be back later in the day for some stuff. But yeah, right now, thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you later.